This is the shopper drop that I have been dying, no seriously dying, to talk about for weeks. The leak of this product has been in my DMs for a few months, if I'm being honest. I've known about this one for a while. I have a hard time keeping my lips sealed. So finally, Trend Mood got on it and shared it. And Natasha, I feel very bad because her stuff always gets leaked. That is so disheartening. She needs to work on tightening up the restrictions here. But it's out. The public has seen it. Trend Mood has posted it, so I finally feel comfortable talking about this. And this has been leaked for a while, but I think this is the palette that we all have been waiting for. The Natasha Denona, they're calling it the Retro Glam palette. If you're new here, my favorite palettes from Natasha are Retro and Glam. Now, I'm not sure. I can't wait for her to come out with her promo images and all of that, and I'll probably do another shopper drop once she does. I don't know if this is supposed to be the baby of the Retro and Glam, but that's what it sounds like. We'll go over that information once Natasha releases it, but this is the palette that so many consumers have been asking for. So here's the backstory behind it. A few years ago, Natasha Denona launched this mini retro palette, and unlike most of the times when she launches a mini palette, this one didn't have a larger counterpart. So we all loved this color story, though I did have a few comments on this, but that's neither here nor there. This palette was so well loved. The color story was so different. It was inspiring, and we were begging for a big retro palette. So she came out with it. But it was not what we had been hoping for. Please tell me, does this look like a spawn of this? It didn't. So of course, well, I do love this palette and she is gorgeous. The uproar, man. I mean, beautiful, but not what we were expecting. So then, of course, with the uproar, they were like, this does not look like the mini palette, which we loved so much. So I think that's what this is. This is this, because looking at them, and you'll see in a second, they look like they're related. I am interested to talk about the comparison to the Glam palette, but let's take a look together. So this is on Trend Mood 1 right now, but she got these from Casey Bell Beauty, who has these in a short or a reel, so we'll watch that reel together. But this is it. This is the palette, and if you're a longtime Natasha Denona follower that I am, you've been paying attention to Natasha Denona news, this is what we've wanted. This is that pink and green and cool toned contrast that the mini retro palette had, and I'm so excited. Seems a little weird. Okay, so I've heard through the grapevine this should be launching sometime in mid-November. You guys told me, so you are my sources. So if I'm wrong, I am so sorry. But I think this is kind of a weird winter color story, but then again, it's not, because the names on the palette are kind of wintry. Sage, Holly, Belle, Evergreen, Flare. I feel like these are somewhat holiday colors, so maybe this is the intended holiday palette, because we have no details as to when this is going to launch. All we have is what's in front of us right here. This is a 15-pound palette. I don't know if it's a midi or a $130 palette. It looks like a midi size to me. We'll see, maybe Casey will let us know. But you can see her swatches in the corner down here. Oh, this looks actually, I said it didn't look very wintry. I guess it kind of does. It kind of has that snowy vibe. These are definitely my first impressions as well, just by viewing. But yeah, you can see very icy vibes. The green, the pink. This is going to be interesting to see how the colors play on the eyes, because I am a little, I'm not sure of the looks I want to create. While visually, this is a very appealing palette to me, I don't know about translation onto the eyelid. I'm not seeing a lot of looks that I want to create with this, but I might just need to see it in person. So here is a closer look, and I guess Casey found this at Sephora. Somebody's Sephora slipped up. I mean, I think these seem to be pretty true to color, so I'm very happy about that. we have a good even mix of mattes and shimmers. From what I can tell, I am not seeing any cream to powders. Evergreen might be one, but the rest are creamy mattes. And then we have what looks to be 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 metallic shades. Evergreen has a question mark on there for me, but it looks like 8 metallics, 6 creamy mattes, and then potentially a cream to powder. Not a lot of depth in here. This is the deepest color. This one is doesn't look like we're gonna get a lot of depth, which is very interesting. Here is the packaging. I think it looks really cute. The packaging leads me to believe it's a midi palette. We'll see what Casey says, but really cool. It does have that retro look to it. I mean, it's a very simple Natasha Denona packaging. And that's all we have on that. So our makeup sleuth, Casey Bell Beauty, found this at her Sephora. And I can see that it is a midi palette. It is $69. And, ooh, okay, it looks so pretty. Okay, let's see. That's the packaging. Okay, so I think all of these were the okay, here we are. Look at the swatches. So you can definitely see it's on the lighter side. We're not playing around with depth here, Natasha, are we? But yeah, I mean, it looks really pretty. My only setback with this is I'm really not sure what my looks are going to be like. And that's not something I'll be able to tell until 1, Natasha releases her own promo photos for inspiration, and 2, obviously until I have it in my hands. I desire a little bit more depth, like a super dark khaki green in here. That would be really, really nice. I'm intrigued, and I'm not mad about it though. I have my doubts, but I still think it is really gorgeous, and honestly, it's kind of exactly what I wanted the big retro palette to look like. So we'll see how I can pull it together here. A huge thank you to Casey Bell Beauty for sharing her video and her just finding it with us. I mean, how special is that? The last thing I kind of wanted to talk about, I'm just going to keep this playing, is it's called Retro Glam, which is just interesting because she has a glam palette, and this one should be called the retro palette because that's what the mini retro palette looks like. If you've never seen the glam palette, it's very, very cool tone. So I definitely feel like it is as if retro and glam had a baby because of all the cool tones that you get in glam, though really all I'm seeing is this palette right here. I'm not exactly seeing a full baby of both, but they're in a family together, that's for certain. And I think it's interesting that she chose to go that way. I can't wait to hear her explanation on the inspiration behind this palette, and if, you know, the name was really intentional with each word. I think it normally is, so. Looks like it's going to be an in-store Sephora exclusive. I'm excited. I want to hear your thoughts. That is why I do these shopper drops. As always, ask any questions, or if there's any comparisons or anything that you would like to see in my review when I eventually get it, make sure you guys ask down below. And of course, I want to hear your thoughts. So I'm really excited about this one. I know you guys are as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and being subscribed to my channel. And if you aren't, make sure you do that and like this video. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.